Hey everybody, welcome back to Ken's Cinema Sofa. If this is your first time, my name is Ken, a missionary that's been stationed in Japan for about 12 years now. I am a Bible teacher. I preach and I teach at churches and now here in my art studio, New Leaf Atelier. But I have a passion for cinema, and this channel is going to be all about artistic and international film. Now we're going to start part 2 of Dune. I really enjoyed myself so far. Thank you for the comments. I've been learning a lot about this really dense, intense world. Now I'm looking forward to continuing. I had to split it because of just how vast this world is. I love that, the literary roots of this film are very clear, and I'm loving the music. And Denis Villeneuve, I believe I'm saying his name correctly, I really like his visual style. I liked his work in Blade Runner, the sequel, and I'm seeing some more of his, the traces of his skill to create believable and visionary worlds. What are we doing tonight for snacks? I've got a whole bag of Kit Kats. As you can see, it says saku saku, which is like crunchy in Japanese. I don't know, Kit Kats are really popular in Japan. I've heard it's because Kit Kat resembles the word for victory in Japanese. So a lot of kids, when they're studying and for exams to enter into junior high or college, their parents or their family will buy them, will get them a Kit Kat. So there's all kind of Kit Kat flavors like green tea flavor and all of that. You won't see that here. We're all about the original. Without further ado, this is Dune 2021 Part 2. Let's get it. Who is this girl? I mean, other than Zendaya, obviously. So is he seeing like a prophecy of them being lovers? What's going on, man? Oh, wow. What? Okay, this is not the kind of dream you want to have.
Hand me a blade, but I don't know who, or when, or where.
Oh, this is one of those blades they were talking about before, right?
Though, are crystal clear. I can feel it.
There must be some religious connection there. Wow, even the babies are born with the blue eyes? Salusa Secundus Imperial Army Planet. I like the kind of Roman sound they have. Secundus. What in that reminds me about how the Apostle Peter, tradition says that when he was crucified by the Emperor Nero, that he asked to be crucified upside down because he had such reverence for Christ that he didn't want to be likened to him at all.
3 battalions.
There's something you need to know about Paul.
No. Don't think I want to know. Ever since you brought him before your Reverend Mother, he hasn't been the same. If anything happens, will you protect our son?
With my life.
I'm not asking his mother, I'm asking the Bene Gesserit. I should have married you.
I didn't get that. What? Sorry, man, I did not get that. What did he say? Oh, snap. What? Assassins. To be honest, I don't know how they're comfortable living on a planet like this anyway. Being, the leader of a house and knowing that there are other aliens or other factions in the galaxy that hate you and are after you. I would be afraid to be here. Oh, man. Is it getting through?
Sir, the shield's come down.
Oh, wow. So I'm trying to understand, like, the Baron, the huge guy, played by Stellan Skarsgård, he made a promise not to attack the prince, right? Not to harm him. So are they operating independent of him? Or did he just break his promise? I love how they're basically like fighting in their pajamas, you know?
I'm sorry, my lord. But I've made a bargain with the Baron. I had no choice. The Harkonnens have my wife, Mana.
Oh.
They take her apart like a doll. I will buy her freedom. For Paul, I will do what I can.
Oh, so wait a minute. So Paul dreamed this. Is this what he dreamed earlier when he was talking to the old lady? When she had the needle at his neck? Oh man, Batista, man. Come on, dude. I'm sorry. I still see Batista. This is an amazing film, but when I see that face and that noggin, it's Batista. Duncan. Wow, there we go. Something that destructive has no right looking so beautiful. Come on. This is another guy, when I see him fighting, I just imagine him speaking Dothraki. Well, I can tell you, this is one of the ways you can tell that this came from a novel, because I did not see this coming. Novels have no problem with being bold and like almost wiping out an entire house that were the protagonists. You know, you can never tell the way a novel is going to go. But with a typical Hollywood story, when, you know, Hollywood bigwigs and money is involved, like, they play it safe.
Don't you dare touch my mother.
Oh.
Don't talk.
Sorry, that dude's voice is just killing me right now. Find the right tone. Oh. Wow. Oh my. Dude. Okay, so she's a master of the voice, basically.
Give me the knife.
This is just, it's so funny to me, but I mean, it's tense. It's great storytelling, but it's just funny. Something about that voice, man. It sounds like an old hag. I hate to use that word, but oh, okay. You know what? I'm sorry I laughed, but that's so demeaning, man. And respectful at the same time.
Wonderful.
Does he float, or is he really that tall? Oh, okay, so he floats. If a guy that huge gets up from his dinner
I said I'd set her free.
and is willing to
But you
be
could join her.
interrupted and come talk to you instead of finishing his meal, you're done for.
So join her.
Yeah, see?
Spice in the tent.
Spices everywhere. So he's having like prophetic dreams. Biblically, it's all throughout the Bible. You have prophets having dreams. The prophet Daniel in the lion's den, who was taken from his home in Jerusalem by the king Nebuchadnezzar in 587 BC, I believe. And he was quite young when he began his destiny as a prophet. So, just getting these little similarities, I feel.
Get off me!
Oh,
You did
whoa!
this to me! You Bene Gesserit made me a freak!
Told you about talking to your mom like that. Okay. I mean, this is understandable, though. I mean, he just lost his father, so a young guy with grief and that kind of power in this moment, dangerous mix. Oh, what? This is what I love. Like, I mean, just the visual ideas and concepts going on. This is one of the great things of having a director, or even if you're an illustrator. Oh wow, so is that like draining all the moisture from everything in the desert? But this is why you have directors and illustrators give new vision and depth to the text or whatever original content we're given to work with. And those authors, they couldn't possibly have visualized or manifested their ideas in this way. Wow, he found them.
Paul, I'm so sorry. Your father.
We know.
My Lord Duke.
And suppose I presented the Emperor with an alternative to chaos. And the Emperor has no sons, and his daughters are yet to marry.
You'd make a play for the throne. The Emperor feared the Atreides. He brought you here to kill you. What don't you understand?
Fremen speak of the Lassan al-Gaib. Careful. A voice from the outer world who will lead them to paradise.
Superstition.
I guess whatever they're talking about is like a Messiah-type character.
As Emperor Dr. Kynes, I can make a paradise for Arrakis with a wave of my hand.
So he would end the whole Spice War. I don't know if I would have screamed. I think I would have just killed as many as possible, but he went out as a warrior, man. Seriously. Something about this scene reminded me of Empire Strikes Back, when Darth Vader came in the beginning, and Hoth, as they were just trying to take off. I thought it was going to be like that, but no, not exactly. Okay. Oh man, is that calling one of those sandworms? What? Oh my. Dude, they're just killing everybody, man. Okay, they better have a whole other cast waiting in the wings, okay? I mean, it is from a novel, so that's what I'm sure is gonna happen.
I serve only one master. His name is Shai Hulud.
Once again, man, like that is the courage to do this. This is how you can tell that this was one author's vision, you know?
The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. A process that cannot be understood by stopping it. We must move with the flow of the process. We must join it. We must flow with it.
Okay. Okay again. This dude still looks like he's ready to suplex somebody. I'm sorry.
Nothing survives such a storm. They're dead. It's a certainty.
So this must be how this guy heals.
So it's done, finally.
And the Fremen.
Kill them all.
Whoa.
about to enter worm territory. We can't walk like regular humans. If we do, we're dead. We'll have to walk like the Fremen do. It's called a sandwalk.
Interesting. Like I said before in the first part of my reaction, I love the world building, you know, the details. I'm all about details. I have mad respect for authors that can kind of retreat into this world that they've made and really supply these details for us. Kind of a guide, a helping hand through their world. The more details, the more real it feels. I like that. Okay.
Do not run. You will only waste your body's water. Hold.
Is that Javier Bardem? Is that my boy?
I would not have let you hurt my friends.
Ah, here we go.
They say you're the Mahdi, but you look like a little boy.
It's so cool to see,
Give it to me.
even though we've seen these prophecies about how well he gets along with them, and then we're faced with the reality of,
You will have
they
your own
just
molar
met him,
pistol when
just
you
how
find it.
different it is. They are so, like, aggressive and lethal towards him.
You talk like a leader, but the strongest leads. She bested you. I invoke the untold.
You may not challenge a Sayadina.
Then who will fight in her name?
Jamis, don't do this. Don't.
This guy, this is my first time seeing him in a film, but I have seen a trailer for the new Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and he's playing like a doctor in that, the doctor aboard the Enterprise, so I'm really excited. I thought he was a really interesting looking guy, so I'm glad to see him in a performance. So he just received a little, like a micro prophecy right there. That's got to be really confusing for him, since he saw another prophecy before of him getting along with this guy, and then now there's another one of him engaged in combat with him and laying on the ground bleeding. He must be like, what in the world is going on?
I don't believe you're the Lisan al-Gaib, but I want you to die with honor.
And the culture he's from, he's probably feeling incredibly mocked. Like, how dare you? Kill me or you kill me. Oh. Okay, so in the prophecy, it was flipped around then. That's what that voice meant, like you kill yourself. Okay, now I'm confused too, because in the prophecies, the dreams, the guy was like, I will show you the ways of the desert. What?
You're one of us now. A life for a life. Come with us to Sitstavre.
No. Paul needs to get off world. You must have ways. You have smugglers, you have ships,
No.
you have...
The Emperor sent us to this place. And my father came. Not for spice. Not for the riches. But for the strength of your people. My road leads into the desert. I can see it. If you'll have us.
Whoa.
Desert power.
This is only the beginning.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. 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 Okay. Just give me a moment to think about that, to compose my thoughts. That was Dune. Dune. Wow. You know what? It's going to take me some days. This is one of those films. It's going to take me some days to fully let that marinate. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to tell you now will change and transform for the better, of course. But yeah, what an amazing film. And to be honest, it feels like the prologue to kind of, a huge saga, not just one novel, but many. And from what I've heard, I've looked in the comments, and I've even done not too much, but I looked on Wikipedia just to learn about Frank Herbert, and I've seen that there are several books or a series of books. People told me like Children of Dune or whatever. And like I said, I did not look deeply into it because I wanted this reaction to be as fresh as possible. But I'll just deal with this film. What can I say? Denis Villeneuve, I feel like I keep butchering his name. This movie really fits into the style of his other films. It's visionary, it's beautiful, it's mysterious. I really like the religious subcontext. I think this movie is trying to teach us about the kind of volatile nature of dreams and prophecies. I was reminded so much of biblical prophecies. Like I said, the prophet Daniel, who was a young man and who was taken away from Israel, from Jerusalem, when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon came in, I believe it's 587 BC, the summer of 587 or 586 BC, pretty much destroyed Jerusalem and took away some of the royal family and the young men. And Daniel was one of them, and he was taught in the court, brought up in the court of Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon, given a Babylonian name, Belteshazzar. And he adapted somewhat to Babylonian culture, but at the same time, he never forgot Yahweh, God. And so he had a special gift for dream interpretation. So he himself would not necessarily have the dreams, but he was gifted with the ability to interpret other people's dreams. The dreams that were stated of King Nebuchadnezzar to have, without the interpretation, it would be impossible to understand the imagery of this huge statue that was made of different precious metals. And somehow God was trying to warn Nebuchadnezzar of his pride, and that these are the different kingdoms that would come later and destroy his kingdom, the Neo-Babylonian Empire, and succeed with their own empires. One of those empires being Alexander the Great. But coming back to this film, I feel like this movie is doing a similar thing. Even where the guy that he killed in the vision, he was saying, you can't fight against the cycle of nature, but you go with the flow, right? The same with prophecy in the Bible and in this film. As a human, you can only hope to grasp the very slightest grains of enlightenment of what this prophecy is saying, because it's coming from a divine source, something that is beyond you, that makes you like infinitesimal compared to it, right? So I just got that feeling about prophecy in this film, and I felt that way even just as an audience of watching this movie. I felt like things were going on that I was just, like I said, a grain of sand in the desert. Like I was just like along for the ride, you know. And I'm not, you know, knocking that. I'm not criticizing that. I love that. There's a humbling essence to that makes you stand in awe, whether it's by divine prophecy or even in awe of an author's ability to weave a world. He may not be God, but he's a creator of this work, and you are simply bearing witness. So yeah, I mean, that was awesome. Let me get technical. The special effects were awesome, but they were visionary. They weren't excessive. There were special effects and CGI everywhere, but all of it serviced the plot. It serviced in creating this rich world, and it never took over the storytelling or the importance of character. I mean, wow, like even without the novels, right? This director, from his other films that I've watched, I mean, he's already a man that has something to say. And there's not a lot of directors that can do that. They may feel like they have something to say, but they end up making kind of like cookie cutter, factory mass-produced blockbusters. This, I mean, it's a blockbuster, but it's only that because it happens to, you know, satisfy in movie theaters. This is a doorway, like a keyhole into a just a whole different realm, cinematic realm, and I love that. One of the things I like about it too is that, and I compare this to a video game that I like called Zelda Breath of the Wild. It kind of drops you in the world, and it does not explain everything. It does not translate everything. I still don't know the the name of the one that they use another language when they're talking about worms, and when they're talking about the one who is like, I guess, a Messiah-like figure. They never say a Messiah or the giant worm or whatever. They use these words or names in other languages, and they don't expect you to know what it means. And I like that. There's some people that'll be turned off by that. I'm kind of delving into writing myself, and I don't want to explain everything to everyone. I feel like when you don't, you make it feel like they just crash landed on a different world. The reader or the audience member, me watching this film, I feel like I've just crash landed on this world, in this world that Herbert has written, and I have to fend for myself with whatever he gives me to survive. It stimulates my mind, my intelligence, my creativity, and I love that. I'm looking forward to what's coming next. I really am. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I really hope they get along with it, man. Dune Part 2. Maybe I'll come back around to this later. Maybe, I don't know how much longer, a good deal later after today, because I want to do a commentary of this, go back over it. Wow. I hope you enjoyed my reaction. As I said, I'm still new to this, doing reactions. I'm sure I'll get better at it as time goes on. But this thing is still stewing in my mind. So, if you like my reaction, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, feel free to give it a thumbs down. But even more importantly, I hope that you'll offer some constructive criticism to help me to create better content for you. I'll see you back here on the sofa.